Here we go. Yes, people. What's going on? It's Ego Talks Football, and I'm back again with another video and podcast. Today, what we're going to be talking about on Vibes from the Six. It's not going to be the six of us. It's going to be the five of us. I got Eldon Staffy in the building. I got Alan in the house. And Hussam back by popular demand representing Liverpool, as there is actually something to talk about in regards to Liverpool supposedly today. And, of course, Qasim will be coming to talk about Chelsea, of course. There will not be any Man City fan on the stream today, but we will touch on Gvardiol later on the stream. And you know what? Let's get straight into it. There's a lot to talk about. Declan Rice to Arsenal, Timber to Arsenal is getting closer and closer. The Mason Mount deal falling apart. Eric Ten Hag might give David De Gea a new contract. Alan will fill us in on all the latest on Tottenham as they're linked to Tapsoba. They got a new goalkeeper from Italy. I don't even know his name. No insult, honestly. I don't know his name. And then James Maddison. And of course, Hussam, you're one step closer to signing another midfielder, as you must be happy that is one step closer. But yeah, how you doing, Hussam? How you been?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. I was happy to come on the channel till I found out Alan and Staffy were on. But other than that, I'm happy. Back on Vibes from the Six. If you know, we know. One of the OGs of this show right here. So big up to you guys. And yeah, make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Comment section, I just want you to spam hashtag Alan out, hashtag Staffy out. That's all I want. Make sure you spam that in the comment section so we can get them off the stream. If we get 100 hashtags, we'll get them off the stream. Spam it right.
Big up to all the people in the comment section. I can see all the people. And to me, Ahmed, always spam in the chat. Timber's joining. Declan Rice is joining. Lavia is joining. Eddie's leaving. Partey's leaving. She's going on mad today. What's going on? Agree? No, we haven't agreed nothing yet, man. We haven't agreed nothing yet. But we're going to get into it. Alan, how you doing, man? The channel's flying. Alan, time added on. He's killing it. I see it. My guy, how you been?
Yeah, no, man, it's going well. Obviously, like I said, the channel's just blown up in the last 3 weeks. It's gone ridiculous. So, yeah, pretty much all Spurs content. But when he gets back to the Premier League season, it'll be all Premier League as well. So, look forward to that. Obviously, I'm happy to be on stream with Staffy. Obviously, good to be with a gal. Look at this one coming back like Jerry Halliwell from the Spice Girls. And all that, just bit part piece, like coming back, thinking she's good. Although, at least you don't have ginger hair though, because you have none at the moment.
I don't think some of the people watching are old enough to understand the reference, but fair enough.
Yeah, I didn't get it either. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, that's fine.
Staffy definitely didn't get it. Staffy,
look, I didn't say anything.
What's going on? Alan, get with the times. And Staffy, all the way from New York, doing his thing. How you feeling, bro?
Good, bro. Good. Listen, this guy Sam is lying to the comments as usual, bro. You know, this guy's saying Staffy out, but I'll let you guys know he's talking to me every day. This guy loves talking to me, but he comes over here and he's acting like he don't love me. So, you know, he can say Staffy all he wants, but you'll see me on his channel again later today. So that should tell you something. But thanks for having me again.
And Qasim, fashionably late, but he did tell me he was gonna run a little late. Qasim, how you doing, man?
Thanks for having me, mate. I hope everyone all right. I'm good, thank you.
Good. And of course, if you don't know, we got a Chelsea fan here, Tottenham fan here, Liverpool fan here, and a Man United fan right here. And of course, you guys already know I'm a Gooner. But let's get this show started. I think today the best way to get the show started is the Mason Mount drama, because yesterday the plot twist of all plot twists, apparently Chelsea had rejected their bid for Mason Mount, gave them a counter offer and said, if you pay this amount, we'll give him to you. And then Manchester United said, no, we don't want him. And now they're going for Caisedo. I've read the script. I know what's going to happen, but I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think is going to happen before I speak? Staffy, take it away. What are you saying, since you're the United fan?
If I had $1 for every time I went on someone's channel to talk about Mason Mount, I'd be pretty rich right now. Because wallahi, I'm so tired of talking about it. But let's just wrap it up, bro. I think it's a bluff. I think he's still coming to United. I think it's just like a tactic from United to get Chelsea to sell for the price that they want. I don't believe anything that's been said. I think even Fabrizio Romano came after and said on his YouTube, I think, that someone reported that he said Man United have been admirers of Admire FC once again, admiring Caicedo for a while now, but nothing has changed recently, and he's still set on going to Chelsea. So as much as that sounded good, and I was celebrating when I saw it, I was with Saeed yesterday when the news came out, and we almost almost crashed the car because of how happy I was. But then everything seemed to get denied so quick. So we're back to square one again. I think it's just like a tactic to get him, to be honest, to get him on the cheap.
Okay, what about you, Qasim? Are you a little worried that you could lose Caicedo and Mason Mount might stay?
So I don't disagree with stuff. I think Mason Mount will stay at Chelsea. I think I think United. Look, we like it or not, United has been last 10 years. It's been terrible in transfer. It's becoming
15 years.
Yeah, come on, 15
years. A lot of years, bro.
10, 15 years, say. Yeah. I think Chelsea, if we're going to sell him to United, I think United need to fork out a lot of money. But what I think is, it's all down to the contract. I think Mason Mount wants 300 grand a week. Okay? And obviously, Chelsea offered him 200 grand a week. He will not have it. And listen, I don't understand. A lot of Chelsea fan and a lot, different platforms keep saying about Mason Mount, this new. I'm not being funny, mate. Football is a short career. You have to do the best for yourself and for your family, right? And don't forget something. If he signs with Chelsea, 5 years contract and 200 grand a week, that would take him to 28. That could be the biggest contract. My point I'm trying to make is, I believe ultimately he will stay at Chelsea, and Chelsea will offer him the big contract. Otherwise, United have to come with a lot of money, because I believe if he's got 4 years in his contract, Mason Mount is 90 to 100 million player.
Okay,
that's
fair
what
enough. So you think he's gonna stay?
Yeah, I do.
And do you think you're gonna lose out on Caicedo to Manchester United?
No, I think we're gonna get Caicedo as well, because we'll get. Yeah, I think Kante's gone, Kova's gone, and Jurrien gone last year to Arsenal. I think we're gonna get Caicedo. I believe that strongly. I think it's our number one target, I believe, and I think Mason Mount ultimately will stay.
And you're giving him a new contract while you're at it, or no? Because say
it again.
Is he getting a new contract? Because the whole issue is that he couldn't get his money. He wanted his bag, and you're just saying he's going to stay. So is he getting his bag or not? Because if not, he's leaving.
That's what I'm saying. I said ultimately. Listen. You need to understand. Chelsea, in the end, they've been cornered because Mason Mount has got only 1 year left in his contract. So they love to have him, like Caicedo's situation. They had a 1.5 year contract for Brighton. So Brighton had to give him 4 years contract in order, because Arsenal coming for him, Chelsea coming for him. So they need to get the 80 or 100 million. They have given him for 4 or 5 years contract. Now Chelsea cannot do that till they stay in Mason Mount on the table and give him the 4 to 5 years contract. So if United coming for him, or Arsenal or Liverpool, Chelsea, as I said to you, Mason Mount is an 80 to 90 million player. Because can you imagine?
But you do know that he agreed personal terms with United, right? Like, it's
it means nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing. I remember Willian agreed with Tottenham, and we end up taking him from Tottenham.
No, but he was going somewhere anyways. That's different, because this guy was going to sign with a team in England anyways. So he went from Spurs to Chelsea. I get what you're saying, but this is not really the same, because this guy's been in Chelsea. He didn't get his bag, and he actually spoke with Ten Hag. Like, it's all facts. Like, everything I'm saying is not actually opinionated. He did actually speak with Ten Hag. He did agree personal terms. He did tell Chelsea that he wants to leave. So everything that I'm saying is not my opinion. Is actually true.
No, I believe
the fact that you're saying he stays is like that. That would be, in my opinion, that's a huge turnaround after all that. Like, I get if he doesn't go because Chelsea wouldn't budge on the price, but everything else, like, he is pushing for that move. Like, he does want to leave.
Oh, what the hell? Okay, that's his ringtone, clearly. Alan, you want to jump in on this before
Staffy, bro, what's your professionalism, Staffy?
Yes, Staffy.
Nah, he's busy. Let him go.
You better not do this on my channel.
Bro, you better not get me copyright striked.
Hassan, are you being serious in saying that Mount's worth 80 to 90 million? Did I hear that correctly?
Sorry, are you talking to me?
Yeah. Your name's Hassan, isn't it? Come on.
Qasim.
Hassan.
Okay.
My
name is not Hussam. My name is Qasim.
Okay, Hassan.
Okay.
Hussam. For me, it's different. But are you saying genuinely that Mount's worth 80 to 90 million?
100, that's it.
Mount is not worth 100 million. What are you smoking, my friend? Seriously, he's not worth 100 million. That's ridiculous.
I think that's the poll question. 1 second. How much is Mason Mount?
That ain't no poll question. That ain't no poll question.
No,
I don't know what the hell
You
Qasim
vote
is
for you.
smoking. Ain't no poll question. No one's gonna vote yes. Anyone? No one's gonna vote yes. 100 million my ass.
Yeah,
He don't.
Exactly.
Right,
Bro, what is happening
Okay,
here?
how much is
100
he
million
worth?
Mason
How much
Mount.
is he worth?
How on earth?
Akhi, Declan Rice just captained West Ham to a Conference League final, won it, and was by far their best player, and has been probably top 2, top 3 DMs in this entire league over the last 3-4 years, and he's barely touching 100. It's like 90.
No, I think West Ham went to over 100 million, Hussam.
No,
West
it's
Ham-
100. It's
Yeah.
100
Over 100
or
million.
90 plus 5, 95 plus 5. Come
Yeah,
on,
plus
man.
odds on. But my point I'm trying to make is, Hussam, if he's got 1 year left in his contract and Chelsea demanding 65 million from United, if he's got 4 years in his contract, it's worth 80 to 90 million. That's my point I'm trying to make.
No, Chelsea cannot demand that kind of money for Mason Mount.
Okay, by that logic, you know, I need to ask this question. So, by that logic, obviously, I need to ask Qasim.
Qasim.
Right, okay. No, like, how much with 4 years on his contract is Harry Kane worth then?
Say it again.
How much would Harry Kane be worth with 4 years left on his contract?
Well, it's all down to the age, isn't it?
Oh, so now it's down to the age, okay. But Harry Kane, Mason Mount can't even lace Harry Kane's boots.
Bro, what are you talking about? Mate, listen.
Well,
Harry
what I'm
Kane-
saying is, hold on.
I can answer it because you're asking me a question. Let me answer it, right?
Oh my
You're asking
god.
me a question, let me answer it.
Oh my God.
Harry Kane is nearly 30, right?
Oh,
Harry
let
Kane
me-
is nearly 30, bro.
Let me finish a sentence. God damn it. What I'm saying is, a couple of weeks ago, you sat here that said Harry Kane with 1 year left on his contract is worth about 80 million. But you're saying Mason Mount is worth about the same with 1 year left on his contract. When Harry
What did I
Kane
say about 4 or 5 years ago?
by
What
far
did
the
I
player.
say?
Mason Mount with 1 year left on his contract is about 40 million at best. That's how much you should be getting to him. But don't worry, you can afford to give him a new contract if you want him. You can afford to get Caisedo. You just have to ship another 6 or 7 players out to Saudi Arabia, and then you're good. It's fine. Don't
Okay,
worry.
let me just read this super chat before thing comes. Big up El Maddis. He says, me and Qasim are smoking that good stuff. You know,
Qasim ain't smoking the good stuff. He's smoking the good stuff. He's smoking extra
jump in.
good.
What you said?
I don't know, bro. This 100 million, wallahi, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like 80.
I said 80. This is 91st, bro.
Forget about the 100 million, Hussam. What do you think about
That's
when
wild.
you first see this report?
I think Man United are going to buy Mason Mount. I think this is all just BS. As the Chelsea reporter, I think, tweeted, I think it was like maybe 2-3 days ago, Chelsea are waiting because Man United have a history of caving in. And it's true. They do have a history of caving in, and they're going to cave in again. Man United suck when it comes to transfers. This is what they do. They're just dumb, and then they get dumber, and then they get dumber, and then they get dumber. So this is how their life works. So I expect Mason Mount to become a Man United player by the end of this summer transfer window. There's all extra drama. Erik ten Hag's pushing for him. Yet all the United fans will start tweeting hashtag lasers out when it's clearly Erik ten Hag's decision that he wants him. So they're gonna have to hold that. They're gonna have to hold that. I'm gonna be honest with you. He don't add nothing to that Man United midfield. If it's a midfield three of Casemiro, Mount, and Bruno, they'll be playing hot potato with the football the whole time. So it's just gonna be an absolute embarrassment. The only place they're gonna be good is maybe on the counter attack, but the counter attack is only a phase of play. It's not like they're going to counter-attack against Luton Town at home. I mean, they could counter-attack against Luton Town at home because that's the way they play football. Apparently,
I came in back on time.
Can I finish, Staffy? Did I interrupt you?
Have you been listening, Staffy? Have you been listening, bro?
I was on the phone. I'm sorry for what happened, but I came in on time and this guy talking shit. So
okay. Say hi to your girlfriend for me. Anyway, as I was saying, when it comes to this entire conversation, Ten Hag's done it, you know. Just this season, they were the second deepest defensive line, just ahead of Nottingham Forest. So they do park the bus all the time. So maybe it works on the counter-attack. But yeah, I expect Mason Mount to become a Man United player. All this is just extra BS. They're eventually going to cave in and give the 60 because they just suck in the transfer window. Their bald fraud manager wants him. So we will see what he'll do.
How much you will give, Hussam? How much you will give?
If I had to pay for Mount?
No, how much United do you think you're going to give you Chelsea?
60.
For 1 year left in his contract. So my point is stand, right? So if he's got 4 years in his contract.
But United is dumb.
No. Oh, so you're
in reality, Mason Mount is worth like 30 million. No offense.
Yeah, but this is another conversation, Hussam, because some people will rate him, some people will not. But my point I'm trying to make, United, team like United, will get him for 60 and 1 year left in his contract. So if he's got 4 years in left in his contract, 80, 90, easy. So my point is done.
Okay.
Actually, your whole fan base.
I understand that.
Your whole fan base is doing dances that you're selling him. I don't know what you're talking about. They're dancing
He
on
rates
TikTok.
Mason Mount.
Like, yes, we're selling Mason Mount.
I don't want to sell him, Hussam. I don't want to sell. I rate him. I like him.
Okay,
Well,
and
keep him.
what? And Qasim, what percentage are you part of? 5% of Chelsea fans that want him. But the other 95%, they all want him gone. Actually.
Yeah,
Wallahi, they all want him gone. Yeah.
That is facts. That is facts.
Yeah. You know what? People are getting on to Qasim a lot today. Guys in the chat, show him some love.
I'm okay with him.
People in the chat.
Wait, why are people saying that I rate Mount? What channel were you guys watching? Like, we're talking right here. I did not say anything that I rate Mount. In what?
100% rates Mount.
Would you rather
In what world do you guys hear me say anything that I rate Mount?
Oh,
I
let me
said I
ask you
don't
stuff. Do you rate Mount though?
No, I just said I don't.
So why?
So
I'm just better than any food you have.
Listen, bro, this is
Such a passion.
it's just karma. I've called this guy shit for about 2 years, and now he's coming to my team. So this is 100% karma. I just don't rate the player he is. And when I say I don't rate him, it's not that I don't rate him as a Premier League player. Like yeah, he's a decent Premier League player. But when I look at the standards that my club needs to compete with Man City and Arsenal and Liverpool, I just don't think he's the guy. I hope I'm wrong. I can't blindly follow this and say, yes, whatever my manager says. You know, I'm not like Arsenal fans, just, you know, sucking on Arteta all the time, saying whatever he wants will do. Like, I don't do that. I just don't think he's good enough. But if the manager has a plan,
don't do that.
it works.
Don't do that.
I'll do that.
Don't do that because your own fan base.
Oh,
No. Let me
100%
respond to
do
this
that.
guy. Because your own fan base, and you heard it on the space that I hosted, were defending it based on the idea that Ten Hag wants him. Your fan base does the same.
No. We were defending that. You kept saying that his talent ID is bad, and I gave you good cases, and you gave me bad cases.
Okay,
And
give me the
that's-
good cases.
Two different
Right.
conversations. I've heard exactly what he said. I've heard people say Eric Ten Hag's first season, a lot of his signings went well. So if he wants Mason Mount, I want Mason Mount. That's what people have
Thank
said.
you.
Maybe it's not you. Maybe
But
it's
not
not
all
you.
of them. But
You
not
don't-
all of them, Miguel.
No. Maybe you don't subscribe to that doctrine, but a lot of
Listen,
fans.
there's more Arsenal fans that blindly follow Arteta.
Because he deserves it. He's had more time to turn
But
around.
it's not about who deserves it. You can argue who deserves it or not. I'm just saying, as a fan base, there's more blind Arsenal fans that follow Arteta blindly than more Man United fans that follow Ten Hag blindly.
Who's a better player, Mason Mount or Kai Havertz?
Mason Mount, bro. Easy.
That's
It's
an
versatile,
argument
isn't
that
it?
I don't want to have,
Mason
to be
Mount playing
honest.
different positions.
I don't know about you guys, but I say Kai Havertz. What do you guys say?
Of course you'll say that. If it was the other way
You're gonna say
around,
that,
if Mount would have went to Arsenal and we're linked with Kai Havertz, you would say Mount is the better player.
This
It's
is the
that
most
simple.
like. Listen, I just returned to vibes from the 6. I'm not gonna discuss trash versus garbage first. So I'm
That's
not
what I
gonna-
said. I don't want to even talk about it.
Wallah, this is the
Guys,
worst
number.
question.
Let's go quickly.
How about they both are shit? How about that? That's the correct answer.
Let's ask you guys a quick question. Manchester United are in hunt for a goalkeeper. Is it a possibility that they could keep David De Gea for 1 year as a transition? Do you guys believe that there's any possibility that this could happen? Because I know, Staffy, you said you don't want me to come to you on this because you haven't read on it, but this is
No,
exactly.
I just
what the
didn't
Mirror-
know of it until you just told me
This is
about it.
exactly what the Mirror have reported. This was 14 hours ago. That David De Gea's position at Manchester United is strengthening, as Eric Ten Hag would ideally not spread a significant amount of the budget in replacing a keeper.
I mean,
Steph,
this
can
was
you
the
respond
plan
to
all
that
along.
crying, please? We would like
What?
to respond to that crying.
Where? Okay, I'm not gonna go to this guy loves to instigate shit. With me.
Get a box of tissues next to you in case.
Anyways, I think this was the plan all along. The plan all along was for Ten Hag to. I think originally they were talking about a 2-year extension on a cheaper wage, and I thought at the time that doesn't really speak that, like, you know, Ten Hag really looks at De Gea and he sees this is a long-term goalkeeper. It's more of, while we're transitioning to a new goalkeeper, I'd rather keep someone as a backup who's really, like, very well. Like, when you think of De Gea as a backup, I think he would be the best backup goalkeeper in the world, if you're being really honest. Because yes, he has his. What's that?
He's in 375 a week.
How much he's on right now?
Isn't it? He's in 375 a week.
But they're going to give him. They're gonna give
I
him
don't know,
the-
but I know he's like probably the highest paid. I think he's the highest paid, or maybe
Yeah,
now
he's the highest
Rashford is the
paid.
highest paid.
He's the highest
One
paid,
second,
yeah.
Qasim,
But
that's irrelevant because his contract ran out and they're giving him a reduction. in
his
wages.
contract runs out this week, so this is a new contract anyways. So
But
the
how
whole
much of a
plan-
reduction is he gonna accept though? That's the question.
That is the thing, because a lot of people were talking about the reduction in the salary and the role, because maybe he rates himself still to play first team football. He's actually not that old when people think about it.
No,
He's
they're
only
giving him
32.
200K.
No,
So So he probably rates himself good enough to start for most teams. And this was the whole issue because, like, we're trying to do a thing. Like, remember when Thibaut Courtois went into Chelsea and they still had Peter Cech and they, like, had basically the old guard and the new guard. That's, I think, what Ten Hag is trying to do. But I don't think De Gea wanted to accept this role, you know? So regardless of him staying or not, we're still going in for a new goalkeeper. I wouldn't mind De Gea being a backup. I just don't think he would want to take that role and take the deduction wages.
And before we continue go any further, I'm just going to read
Gal,
this.
you're so shameless. I swear to God.
Big up my guy El Maddis saying Kai Havertz is clutch. We all know he comes up big in the big moments, and he's saying Mason Mount is useless. Fair enough.
Name 3 moments.
Champions League final, Conference League. No, not Conference League. It was
stumbled on number 2.
It was a Club World Cup. It was a Club World Cup final. He scored the goal to win them the Club World Cup.
Hold on. So now, hold on.
So essentially, he's bigging up the London Divock Origi.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
Now you are a fraud, and I'll tell you why you're a fraud. Because now the Club World Cup is a big moment, but you were on Twitter in a space saying how the Club World Cup is a nothing cup. So
You want to know something? That's irrelevant because what he asked me is name a moment. It doesn't matter if I rate the
You were
moment.
saying
Name
it
big
weren't.
moments.
You were saying it weren't.
How's it a big moment if it's not a big tournament in your eyes?
Bro, listen, if you ask me to name a moment and it had to do with any club and they won a trophy, I'm going to mention it.
You guys said big moments.
To begin with.
Listen, you guys won the ID Cup. That was a big moment for you guys. It's fair. Listen.
Okay, guys, let me just say this quickly. 16-17, Divock Origi had his best season. He had 7 goals. How many goals does Kai Havertz have this season? Around the same. They're both
Kai Havertz not a striker.
He played as a striker all season. Where were you?
Oh my God!
Okay, you guys want
knows his position, bro.
One second. We're letting him off the hook with the De Gea topic. Do you guys want to stay on it for 2 seconds? And then
Bro, we can go back to the head. There's nothing. What do you
We
mean
can go
letting
back
me
to
off
the
the
hair
hook?
later. Now, I just want to tell you, stop being shameless, because you're literally. Is Divock Origi worth 60 million right here, right now?
No.
Okay, thank you. So Havertz is not
We're
worth
not paying
60
60
million.
million. We're paying like
65. Yes.
1 second. We're paying 65, but it's really.
I think it's 70, Gal. I think 75 plus add-ons, isn't it?
No. It's 50 million split into 3 years, 17 million each year, and then 15 million in add-ons. The add-ons is if we win major trophies. That's it.
Yeah, assume the add-ons never work. Assume add-ons never happen. Is Origi worth 50 million? Also, no. This is who you're signing, Habibi.
No,
This is
but
who you're
guess what?
signing.
But guess what? We are not signing him to play as a striker. We are signing him to play across the front 3 and to be a midfielder also.
Oh,
So if Qasim signed Divock Origi to play RCM, would you laugh at him?
Bro, it would be completely
They
different.
will.
It's more like signing.
Origi got more ability than Havertz, though.
It's more like signing Antoine Griezmann at 25.
Oh God.
Wait.
The
Did we
level
just-
of disrespect.
Wait, did we just
Antoine
say signing Havertz for Arsenal right now is like signing Griezmann at 25?
I'm just making a comparison to age.
No,
and
just
the-
say
and
yes
the
or no. Did you
profile.
actually just say, because
I'm
this
just
is
saying the
clip-worthy.
profile of where he could play across many different positions. That's it. I'm not saying that exact
You
same.
know who can also play in multiple positions? Milner. What does that have to do with anything?
Sam's tapped out.
That's the reason why we're signing him. We're signing him because of his versatility and the ability to play in many different positions. It allows us the tactical flexibility to have somebody to come off the bench or to start that can then we can change the tactics in game with him.
Again, look, I like the shithousery and the fact that you're backing him no matter what, but you can't name me.
I'm not backing him no matter what.
You can't name me 2 or 3 times this season where you've rated Havertz or you've praised Havertz on this season.
Bro, I don't rate Havertz to that level where I'm going to sit here and name every single great moment that he's had. But the reality is I don't need to rate somebody for them to come into my team and do well.
But this is true, but you're basically saying that it's a great bit of business by Arsenal. But based on everything that's happened, based on the fact that it's happened,
one second. It's not. I'm not sitting here saying it's a great piece of business. You know what? We're going to actually go to the Arsenal segment. You want to just segue the whole Arsenal segment. I did an article today, and that article that I did, I literally laid out what I thought about each signing and potential signing and what I actually thought about each one. And this was on Arsenal Informer's website. So when I did the whole thing, I broke down what I thought about each signing. So let's do this together, guys. Declan Rice, I think he's a great signing potentially for Arsenal. And if we do sign him, he'll be, I would say 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 signing. As for Kai Havertz, I think you barely pass him, maybe even fail him. because I think he's a 5 or 6 max based on his performances. If he performs well, you can say as high as a 6. But nobody here expected him to be a signing for us, and nobody would have expected him to be a target for us. As for the other two, Romeo Lavia is still young, so I'm going to say you have to upside wise. You're going to say 7, and I think Timber. I think that's another great signing, potentially 8 out of 10. So let me know what you guys think about these signings potentially. And this is where I was kind of going to go with the Arsenal segment. But yeah.
So are we just saying Bun United? I'm down for that.
Yeah, Bun United, because Staffy didn't even want to talk too much about that topic anyways.
Yeah, because they suck anyway.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so yeah. So by the way, if you guys want to see where the article is on the Arsenal Informer website.
I manipulated the guy.
I can put the link in the description. Staffy, we let you off the hook. Don't worry. We'll get you next time. You're always here. Big up to you. But yeah, what are we saying? Rating these 4 potential transfers for Arsenal. What do you guys think?
Well, obviously the main one is Rice. Like the people you're looking to move on. If you get Rice in, it's a fantastic business because it's obviously for me, it's an upgrade on what you already had. The Havertz one makes no sense for what you're looking at, how you're going to pay. I don't see him like he'll be. If you're saying about across the front line, then he'll just be a sub. And obviously, as a Spurs fan, I know, which Neil kind of alluded to, I can't say anything because of Richarlison being 60 million. I don't rate Richarlison, and that point's there. You go. So I like Havertz 60 million as a wasted sub is what we did last season with Richarlison. Lavia's a great youngster, and I think he would be good as an addition to bring through your team. So I'd say about a 6 at the moment because he's got to obviously break into the first team. And then Timber, yeah, good signing. But are you going to get them all? I think Timber's the most likely at the moment, isn't it? But Timber about 7 or 8 coming into that team.
Timber is basically agreed personal terms, and we just need to agree the fee. But this is crazy. Since when has it become that personal terms is the first thing that's reported? It used to be they would report when the fee is agreed. Now they just report every section of a transfer for fun. But yeah, I don't mind it. I kind of like it sometimes. But yeah, Hussam, what are you saying? What do you think about these 4 potential transfers, and do you think they're going to happen?
I don't know if Rice happens anymore because every day it's a different thing. The other 3, none of them take you to a Premier League title. I think Timber could because he's someone who could invert into midfield. So that gives you an extra element with Timber. I think Timber will probably be the best signing out of the 4 if Declan Rice doesn't sign, because I think Declan Rice could take it to that next level. Havertz is going to flop. I'm saying it right here, right now. I've said it on Spaces. I'm saying it here. I'm saying it everywhere. Havertz won't work.
Based on what?
Based on him being a shit football player. That's what it's based on.
Okay, fair enough.
Thomas Tuchel is a better manager than Arteta, and he played them with a striker. He played them in midfield. He played them on the wing, and he sucked every single place. That's the truth.
Let me ask you this:
Kai Havertz has had multiple opportunities to prove himself.
1 second. Is Arsenal a better place for attackers signings? Yes or no than Chelsea?
Attackers, yes, of course.
So when players sign for Chelsea, do they not tend to underperform?
Sorry, say that again.
Irrespective of the manager, when players sign for Chelsea, do they not tend to underperform in the attacking third?
In recent history, but not like you can say
But
recent.
that has nothing to do with this. If a player has 300 appearances for Chelsea and he's on can't even hit double-digit Premier League goals, then that's a problem.
I think Hussam, they misprofiled him, they misused him, and at Arsenal, where he's going to be used in a system where he's not dependent on as much, and in a position that's more fluid, where we can.
I hear you, but he's still gonna flop.
Yeah, he's also go ahead.
Lavia wouldn't really take it to a Premier League title. I think Timber and Rice are the 2 best signings of that window if it happens. I'd give Rice a 10 out of 10 if he signs, because that would be an unbelievable.
Lavia will be a bench option and potentially starting at times, but Thomas Partey would have to leave for Lavia to come in.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's not an upgrade on what you have.
No, it isn't, but it's age-proofing. That's what we're doing.
I think for me, Rice and Timber are the 2 gems in that transfer window.
Fair enough. Qasim, what are you saying? What are you rating this window?
Bro. Oh my God. Listen, I said my opinion about Kai Havertz, a Chelsea player. I don't think the Premier League for him. I think he's too slow. He needs time in the ball, and I don't think the Premier League. Listen, that's my opinion, bro. Look, Arteta can get the best of him. I'm not sure where he's going to play. I said it before. Double pivot. He improved. Working hard, he improved. I'm not sure where he's going to play. But for us, selling him for 60, 65 million, that's absolutely happy days for us. But yeah, I like Lavia. He's a young player, but he's a squad player right now because he's inexperienced. Declan Rice is a big price, bro. But I think I'm going to say my opinion, bro. I think Declan Rice will go to Manchester City. I really do. That's my opinion.
Declan Rice, you think he's going to go to Manchester City?
Yeah.
You know what? I think let's talk to Staffy about this, and then we're going to go to the Manchester City topic about this, because I feel like a lot of you guys, I've spoken to Hussam about this on his channel, but I haven't spoken to him on here. But yeah, Staffy, what are you saying? What are you rating those transfers?
It's a tough one because I don't want to be too harsh, but a lot of these signings, except for Rice, let me get Rice out of the way. Good signing, obviously, if you do it, whether he plays instead of Partey, whether if Partey stays, whatever, he's still a good signing. I won't rank it too high because it's not like you sign prime Modric. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10 like everyone does, but I'll go as a minimum of 8 because obviously he's going to have to come in and, carry this team and carry that midfield and prove himself. So I'm just giving him room to improve. So I think 8 or 9 is fair enough. Everything else, I just have questions. Because you just said how these signings are age-proof, but then I just remember, I'm on your channel twice a week. You always told me you guys are going for experience, but now you're talking to me about age again. But then your squad is already very young, so it's why are we going back to the age thing again? Because it's you guys like to put yourself in this underdog situation where we're this young squad and we're overachieving, but then you're going to sign more kids. Okay, now, it's not that I don't rate these guys individually before you think anything. I don't rate Havertz yet, but Timber and Lavia, I do rate them.
Let me tell you something. Honestly,
I rate Lavia too, but he's not an upgrade.
Hussam's right. Hussam's right in the sense of Partey to Lavia is a downgrade in the short term. In the long term, we benefit from it because
in the long term, you never know. That's the truth.
You might benefit from it long term, yes. But here's the issue, though.
That's the risk with youngsters.
Thomas Partey is 30 years old. I just want to say quickly, big up everyone in the comment section. Do me a favor. We're almost at 500 people in the chat. Hit that God. Sorry, I need to stop saying that. Someone told me, please stop saying God. Hit that like button, people. Do me a favor. Make sure you do hit that like button. And don't forget, if you want to subscribe to the channel, please do subscribe also. And if you want to become a channel member, it is quite cheap. You can become a channel member. And of course, that gives you priority on streams and everything else. But yeah, let's continue. We almost got over 500 people almost in the stream. Make sure you
get 10 memberships. Alan's going to dye his hair pink for you guys.
See, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Alan, what do you think? I think that's a good idea.
If we get 10 memberships, I would dye my hair blonde. I'm telling you that.
Hold on. Sam, I'm not stupid enough to bet my hair on something, guys. I ain't guaranteed.
Listen, I would dye my hair blonde. I don't care.
Hey, it was a great moment, Alan. I loved it. I loved that shit.
It cannot be gifted memberships. It has to be 10 different people.
Absolutely not red for Arsenal. Terence Tibbs in the comments. Definitely not.
Anyways.
Look, you're talking very quickly. You're saying about Lavia this and the other. It's a gamble. He's got loads of potential, but you've got to think not every single player works at every single team or in every situation. The one that sticks out most is at Man United, Lingard was absolutely awful. We went to West Ham and looked like a player reborn because he was able to play in the team where, he had more room on the ball. Teams weren't sitting in. He looked better in transition, all that. So Lavia going from Southampton, who are in a similar position where, teams come at them and there's more room and stuff like that for him to be sitting in and breaking up play compared to having a ball is a different scenario. So if you get him, he's got a lot of potential and it will take time for him to come through. And I think there is a player there, no doubt, but it's not going to be a straight in and affect Arsenal or make them win the league or make them challenge for the league. He will be one of the people in the background, taking if you're having, because you're playing the Champions League now, you're going to need players to have a rest and he'll be coming in maybe the league or the Carling Cup or FA Cup. So I don't think he's the type of signing that's going to transform you this season. So I think you're going a bit overboard on that one as well. But Rice, if you do it, fantastic for you. That, like Hussam says, that takes you to the next level. But yeah, apart from that, Timber, like I said, solid signing. I think him and Rice, if you get them done, would be the two best signings. But yeah, Havertz still.
I just wanted to point out, I wasn't saying that I still agree we need experience. And I don't see enough in Timber and Declan Rice. I see experience coming in Kai Havertz and Lavia. I kind of see big risks, but the upside in Lavia is there. Kai Havertz is the one that doesn't make the most sense, and I gave him the lowest score. I think giving him a 5 is a fair rating for his rating out of 10.
I think fair. Give him a 1. That's fair.
Okay, whatever you want to say. I'm giving him a 5 because I backed the manager and I think the manager can get over it. And this is what the thing I was talking about earlier. But when it comes to age proof and why I mentioned it, it was because what Hussam mentioned about Partey. Let's be honest, guys. Thomas Partey is going to be a bit part player next season. He's going to be a rotation off the bench, and that's great for us. But he might not want that, and the club don't see a reason in keeping him for one more year if we can get Saudi money coming in. That was the game changer for us. The Saudi money could potentially change everything for all of us. If
Do you think Partey is a top 5 DM in the league this year?
He was, but I don't think.
Don't say that. Even with him falling off, overall he was a top 5 DM.
Bro, he was amazing. I'll say that. But he
no
fell
problem.
off.
Is Declan Rice the top 5 DM in this league?
Yes.
Okay, so if you put 2 top 5 DMs together, it'll work. And you're saying Partey is 30. Like, I think FIFA has affected us because 30 doesn't mean the player is gonna suck now.
That's
like,
prime.
He has like 4 or 5 years. He can play football at Arsenal Football Club. You know, even players who don't take care of their bodies and don't even take football that seriously probably end up playing till they're 33.
You know something, Hussam? This is where the conversation changed. It was originally something that was strictly football related, but then it became about finances, his wages, and also he has 1 year left and we're not going to give him a new contract. The fact that we're not planning to keep Thomas Partey for much longer, they're seeing an opportunity to make money off him because for the longest time, I just thought he was going to run down his contract and leave on a free. But now there's a possibility where we can actually make a benefit and profit and make the same money back potentially. If Saudi give us the same money we basically paid for him a couple of years ago, plus we can use that money to go buy Romeo Lavia, it might be a downgrade in the short term, but in the long term, Romeo Lavia gets to develop. He doesn't have the pressure of being a starter week in, week out.
That's all correct, but you need to win in the short term. That's the thing.
I still believe we can win with Romeo Lavia as a backup.
I don't think so.
Where you're wrong.
I don't think you go from Partey and Xhaka to Declan Rice and Lavia and you expect to win. I'm sorry.
I don't think Declan Rice and Lavia are going to be the starter. I think Kai Havertz may be. I think
that's even worse. That's even worse because those guys not even
on the game. I think
Havertz and Rice double pivot.
I think depending on the game, you're going to see a game where it's Odegaard, Havertz, and Rice. You're going to see games where it's Lavia, Rice, and Odegaard, and then there's going to be even the rare occasion where Odegaard is on.
Again, let me say something again. All right, in order to win things, you have to have the right balance, bro. You can't have them all young. You have to have the mix. You know, experienced players and young players, right? I mean, Thomas Partey 30, Lavia is 21, 22, Declan Rice 23. And I know as a captain, as a leader for a young age at West Ham, you need to have the mix. So you have to have the right ingredients. So at someone 28, 29 in his peak, with someone 22, and that's how it works. But you can have them all young. I think it's a risky business, in my opinion.
I do.
9 more memberships and Alan's gonna have pink hair. So make
big
sure
up, big up Mohammed here with the memberships. Let's now shift away from Arsenal, guys, because I feel like let's talk about Man City Arsenal with the Declan Rice thing. I just need to ask Qasim and Hussam because I know everyone else's opinions kind of on this already. I think Alan, you've spoken about this last stream when Hamza was going crazy, if you remember.
What their opinion? I missed Alan and Staffy. What their opinion? Sorry, I didn't know their opinion about.
Okay, I know Staffy's basically going to tell you that he's going to go to City. Am I wrong? And Alan actually might think that he might end up at Arsenal.
Well, Declan Rice.
No way, Staffy is that predictable. No way.
No, I did say that to him last time, to be honest.
I knew you said that without knowing you said that. Can you imagine? You're so anti-Arsenal.
Arsenal fans love me, so I have to say that.
Alan repeat himself for the people who didn't hear what he said.
I honestly don't recall what I said 2 weeks ago. So I just, whatever I said 2 weeks ago, I don't know. I can't recall.
You said you wouldn't be surprised if you joined Arsenal over City.
It's because he's old, guys.
I don't know. Look, as it stands at the moment, everyone's kind of now saying he's definitely going to Arsenal, but it's one of them. I can understand if he goes to both teams. People say he'll go to Arsenal, London, this and the other, fantastic. But if I'm now looking at it just through the player's eyes and where I think he's going to obviously have more success, it's Man City, of course. So does he think he could be the one to change Arsenal and get them to win a trophy? If he wants to take on that challenge, good for him, and that's where he's going to go. But yeah, in regards to
Alan, are you saying that because you hate Arsenal? For real?
No. I'm being serious. If he thinks if he wants to stay in London and he thinks he can be the one that makes Arsenal obviously go from challenging to winning the league, then people will go straight away. Rice is one of the best DMs in the world. If he's able to make that happen. But any player at the moment looking at Man City team and thinking, especially with Gundogan going, like obviously people are saying Rodri, but Rodri and Rice and double pivot smells danger for me. I think it's going to be ridiculous. But any player of that class would want to go to the best team to win trophies. So if they do, people might as well just Man City can have the league to themselves and we'll all try and fight for second. But yeah, I don't know where he's going to go. I really don't, because it changes every day. And I think Rice would want to go Man City, but he may end up at Arsenal. And if it is, it's a great bit of business for Arsenal.
He won't end up at Tottenham, that's for sure.
No, we don't spend that much on players.
Fair enough. They spent money on Ndombela and Richarlison, and we know how that ended up. But go ahead, Hussam, what are you saying on this?
I'm looking at this from a different perspective. I think Rice fits Arsenal. I don't think he fits Man City at all. I think if they'll try to play a double pivot of Rice and Rodri, it won't work because it's too defensive. I don't think Declan Rice can play the number City. He can't. And I said this earlier on in my channel, and I say it here again. Declan Rice, if he's lucky, is like City's 7th or 8th best player. If he walks into Arsenal, he's already their 2nd best player, or you could argue even the 3rd best player. So you're talking about someone who's going to be pivotal and important for Arsenal Football Club, but he won't be as important for Manchester City. You look at the likes of Calvin Phillips. Let's not forget, just a year ago, Calvin Phillips versus Declan Rice was an argument. I hosted spaces titled Phillips versus Rice because it was an actual conversation and people used to talk about it. And I don't think, I was a Calvin Phillips guy. I don't think Rice can play the City 8 because of his, I think his passing ability ain't the best, so he can't play in that position. I think when it comes to Arsenal, he suits them. He suits them a lot more. So for me, I don't see how Rice would even fit in at Manchester City. I don't even think he'd play an important role over there at Manchester City. So for me, he suits Arsenal more. And it's, you guys say it's about winning trophies and stuff. Yes, but every trophy for different club holds different weight. Sorry, Qasim, but Gerrard's Champions League in 2005 means a lot more than a lot more Champions Leagues because that team was shit and he carried it to a Champions League. So things have different weights in football. Just because you won the league, is Calvin Phillips looking at his treble medals and going I won the treble? You were on the bench the whole year. You played 3 games.
It's still in his profile, though, Sam. It's still in his profile.
Yeah, it's just on his Wikipedia page. But what impact did he have? Nothing.
Yeah.
You look at Man City. When Rice walks in, there's KDB, there's Haaland, there's Grealish, there's Ake, there's Rodri, there's Ederson, there's Stones, there's Diaz, there's 5, 6, 7, 8 players. So
who's a better midfielder, Rice or Stones?
I think Stones is a better passer than Rice.
Wow. Okay. Qasim, what are you saying? You think?
I completely and totally disagree with Hussam. I think Gvardiol gonna listen. Gvardiol gonna lift the mobile phone, bro, and he's gonna speak to Declan Rice. He's a Gvardiol player. Trust me, it's very versatile. The centre back is listen, Igal. I don't want to hear that. I know you don't want to hear that, bro. But I'm gonna say it from football perspective. He's gonna lift the phone up and say, "Listen, bro, you my man. He can play a CDM." So he was Fernandinho. Fernandinho was playing DM, box to box, and he was playing centre back when Man City struggling defensively. So let me finish, bro.
He can't even pick up the phone because he's still on the phone with Arteta.
Yeah, he will pick up the phone like Mourinho used to do, was ask for to get the players, bro. He's gonna lift up the phone and say, "You're the man for me." But let me go back to the point Hussam was addressing. Listen, everyone said that Hussam about Grealish. Grealish is gonna be this. Grealish is not gonna. Well, De Bruyne is there, Bernardo Silva. Guess what? I knew Grealish is gonna go City and he's gonna cope because he's got technical ability, and it takes him a year. And everyone said it's 100 million.
But Rice isn't technical.
Listen, he's improved his game, bro. He drive with the ball. He add the goals to his game, 110%. And he box. He can play DM. He can play as a centre back. He's a type Man City player. In my opinion, it's worth 100 million, and it's going to Manchester City. In a matter of fact, I'm thinking like that because he's a Gvardiol player. That's what I'm thinking about. That's all.
And you know what? I'm just gonna say this. Big up everyone in the comment section. You already know I'm an Arsenal fan. I already think he's coming to Arsenal, and of course, I also think he's coming to Arsenal
That's it, right.
because I got a lot of people telling me it's pretty much almost done, and this whole thing doesn't make sense. In my opinion, guys, West Ham have a vested interest to put out news that is very favorable to them, that makes it seem like there's a bidding war, but yet there's no official bid for Manchester City. Until there's an official bid for Manchester City, I am not worried, and no Arsenal fan here should be worried. But yeah, you know what I'm worried about? We have almost 600 people in the chat, and we don't even have 200 likes. Do me a favor, guys. Come on, hit that like button, please.
Frauds.
It's so difficult. It's so difficult to hit that like button. If you guys don't know, it's like this, and it's right underneath Qasim. But yo, let's continue. Hussam,
Hussam, welcome today, man. You had 800 people. I was watching you today. I was having your channel, bro. You did very good. Come on, hit that like button, people. Hit that like button.
Say everyone's links to their channels, even this guy right here who doesn't even post on his channel. The links to his channels in the description.
Why'd you point out Hussam?
I'm not pointing at Hussam. I'm pointing at you.
You keep pointing at Hussam.
You're pointing at Hussam.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? I post like twice a day.
For me, it's okay. So you're here.
There you go.
Yeah.
On my screen, it's inverted.
Ooh. Dislike the video.
He was like, what? What do you mean? I post like a couple times.
Oh, you're lying to me.
What do you mean? No, I swear you were pointing out Hussam.
No, you were originally.
The viewers see it inverted. You guys might see.
No,
it.
they don't.
No.
I'm literally watching the stream and I'm pointing here.
No, you're
pointing at me.
Yeah, you're pointing at Hussam.
Okay, everyone in the comment section, who am I pointing at? I am pointing at you.
Here. I will open the video now. Point at me.
Bro, I'm on YouTube and you're pointing at Hussam, bro. Like,
I am. You're right. Okay. Let's stop.
Point again now. Point again.
This guy.
That's Mustafa. That's Mustafa.
Okay.
That's Mustafa. Here, now you're pointing correct.
Wallahi, if I show you guys my
this guy's talking about timber and inverted fullback so much that he's
I'm gonna be live at 11:30 again. Two times.
Hussam's gonna be live at 11:30. Check the link to his description. Let's continue. Hussam, there's some Liverpool news. Let us know. I keep tweeting out every day. What's the Liverpool news? What's going on? Tell me, bro. Is there something going on?
Nothing is going on.
Shit club.
Say wallahi. Today I seen
Hussam, I heard Barella. I thought I heard Barella linking with.
No, you know who I'm linked with? I'm linked with Rihanna also. That's who I'm linked with.
You heard wrong.
I read it. Barella.
Let me show you something. This is what I seen. Today I seen this, and I seen a bunch of Liverpool accounts.
Yeah, I'll tell you about Thuram. Here's the thing. We ain't gonna get Barella. Chill out, people. We are not broke, but our ownership group are stingy. So we ain't about to pay 60, 70, 80 million for Barella. Someone guy on this panel is calling us a shit club, yet his club's gonna pay 60 for Mount. It's crazy. Anyway, when it comes to Liverpool Football Club,
right at the same time.
Can I speak? It's the Liverpool section. Thank you. So when it comes to Liverpool Football Club, we're gonna get Kefren Thuram. I'm confident that deal comes through. The player wants us, we want him, Klopp wants him, all of that good stuff. If we don't sign Kefren Thuram, it's 100% a monetary reason. So it'll be FSG once again doing us dirty. When the summer comes in, Igal knows this because he's known me a long time. Alan knows this. When the summer comes in, it becomes more Hussam versus the Liverpool fans more than really rivals. I park the rival hatred to the side and we start kind of speaking on Liverpool a little bit because we genuinely have a massive problem with lack of funding. When it comes to transfers, we thought we were going to have a big transfer. We thought, we're going to spend money really well, all of that. And then, it just kind of comes crashing on our head tops. We're even haggling over the transfer for Kefren Thuram. The reported budget is 100 million plus sales, which is nowhere near enough. So that barely gets us two midfielders and a centre back. So I'm not really like. Here's the thing.
I seen this today. Is there any remote truth to this?
What, Thuram? I just said, I think we're going to say
that he's close, like agreement.
Yeah. He's a great, he wants to come to Liverpool Football Club. Klopp wants him, all of that good stuff. So I'm confident. It's not done, but I'm confident that Thuram is going to be a Liverpool player, and we will see. But listen, man, I don't know why the guy wrote Thurman on his name, but I think he's going to become a Liverpool player. But we will wait and see. It's an upgrade on Henderson. It's an upgrade on all the idiots we have playing in our midfield. So, Yeah, that's the thing. Look at you promoting.
Hussam, let me ask you, Hussam, question.
Look
Would
at you
you
promoting
sign?
yourself, Save this
Would
thing. Look at
you sign? Hussam, would you sign Phillips from Manchester City?
No, because he's injury prone, but he is better than
He's
anyone
injury
we
prone.
have.
He's injury prone, but I mean, his ability. I mean,
No,
you
but he's
think
injury prone. I don't need two Thiagos in my team.
Fair enough.
Thiago's already made from Weetabix. Why I want another cereal? I want.
Can I ask you a
want
question,
steak.
Hussam? Is Thuram going to be playing week in, week out? Or is he going to be
Yes.
rotating?
Yes.
He's going to be starting.
Ox is gone, Keita is gone, Milner's gone, Henderson's unplayable, Elliott is not a midfielder, Thiago's made from Weetabix. Who the fuck else is going to play?
Is
Like,
Thuram
he
good
has
enough
to play.
Is Thuram good enough to play right away for you guys and start? And
I
be a-
think so, yeah. I think he has the attributes to play there. He's gonna take time to develop. He's gonna take time to improve and all of that. But you know, him, McAllister, you've got Fabinho, Thiago in that midfield, Trent inverted.
Yeah.
I think is a good enough midfield and a massive upgrade on what we had this year. So that's what I'd say on the Thuram situation.
Actually, guys, that's a good question. What we know about Klopp?
My question to everybody here, and also Hussam and the Liverpool fans who are listening, is Kefren Thuram at 22 years old good enough to now start in your midfield week in, week out and raise your levels that much when you guys know it's going to take him a while to get used to the Premier League, and in the midfield is where majority of the battles are won. And if you have McAllister, Fabinho, and Thuram, I don't know if that's a good enough midfield.
Oh, we've got Europa League football next season, so we won't play any of the starters in the Europa League. I don't expect Salah, Van Dijk, or any of the world-class players to be wearing the Europa League patch against Toulouse and Bakatopola in the group stages. So those teams, we're going to play the youngsters, we're going to play the fringe players. So essentially, we've got one game a week until April. So even if he doesn't start, a midfield three of Fabinho, Thiago, and McAllister is a massive upgrade on the crap we played this season. So because we play essentially one game a week until April, it's still massively better than the shit we did this season.
I think he's also coming into a more established team. It's easier when you bring in one new player. Yeah, I get McAllister's new too, but he's been in the Premier League, so I don't expect him to start slow. Yeah, so like he's gonna come into a more established team, a more established
McAllister starts right away.
I'm just asking.
No, I know that's what I said, and
I'm
I
just
don't
asking
expect him to
because
be
the
slow.
Premier League proven Romeo Lavia, who yes they did get relegated, but is more of a risk for Arsenal than Partey.
And I'll tell you why, Yigal. Can I answer that?
So for them, getting Kefren Thuram, who's 22 years old, yes, plays at Nice and is a starter and is a good team, but has never really played in the Premier League.
Before you go, I have to rebuttal that point. Fabinho wasn't Premier League proven. Alisson wasn't Premier League proven. Joel Matip wasn't Premier League proven. Mo Salah wasn't Premier League proven. You're not going to tell me 13 games at Chelsea.
It depends, isn't it? It depends, isn't it?
Firmino wasn't Premier League proven. Hoffenheim. And they were all centerpieces of Liverpool's success over the last 5 years. Salah, who actually failed at Chelsea, and they were calling him a Chelsea flop, played only 13 games there. So he never even had an opportunity, to be honest with you. And then when he went to the Italian league, came back to Liverpool, currently with KDB, these two are the best player in the Premier League for the last 5 years. It's KDB and Salah. 1 year it's KDB, 1 year it's Mo. 1 year it's KDB, 1 year it's Mo. It's like those are the two players. So Premier League proven doesn't matter if the player is quality. The guy that comes in is Ruben Diaz wasn't Premier League proven. Ederson wasn't Premier League proven. I could go on and on and on and on. KDB only played 5 games for Chelsea. Only 5 games. He came back. He killed it for Manchester City. Is Erling Haaland Premier League proven? No. He broke the Premier League goals record. So
yeah, but I think you guys talking more about midfielders, though.
It's BS. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Before anyone else goes, we just got a quick comment here from Mohammed asking Hussam a question. I don't think he'll say yes, but would you want Thomas Partey to give us Luis Diaz on a swap deal?
I'd say yes only if you take Henderson and give me Odegaard. I would 100% say yes to
that. I know, Staffy, you want to go on Liverpool. What are you saying?
No, I wasn't going in on Liverpool. I was trying to touch back on that point about the midfield because you used the Lavia example. And I just wanted to point out that you're about to have a new midfield this upcoming season because Partey is gone and Xhaka is gone. So you have 3 new midfielders that, well, Odegaard is not new, but like in terms of playing together, it's a new establishment, which is why I'm trying to say like it's sometimes easier to bed in a player into a more established team or a more established position than when it's a whole different thing, because like just Odegaard is the same one from last season. So like how are these guys going to get along together? You don't know that yet. You know, what if Rice doesn't end up going there? So a lot depends on a lot of things going on, and it's just like it's too much in the air right now to even judge on it.
Fair enough. Alan, do you have a point on Thuram?
Yeah, so like Hassan said, he's already pretty much touched on it. The difference between Liverpool and Arsenal is the fact that they've got so many, had so many bad players for Liverpool in the midfield that now you've got McAllister, Fabinho, or whether it's going to be Thiago, literally you're going to have one place that's going to be rotated in because he's not going to start every game. He's going to be in and out between the Europa League and the Cup games, and he's going to build from there. Lavia is just going to be backseat to, if it's Rice, obviously whoever you're going to keep in, he's not going to be the starter. He's not going to play as many games. So that's why it's a difference between the two. None of us ever said Lavia was a bad sign, would be a bad signing for Arsenal, would not be good enough. I think you're literally thinking we're going from one extreme to the other. We're not. It's just him moving into a Liverpool team that's got a good team around him is good, and only having that one place is going to be, for me, playing more than he is with Lavia. Lavia is going to be just like one of those things, it's just going to be minutes here and there for me. And then they're going to, over the 2 or 3 seasons thereafter, that's where Lavia is going to come into his own. So it's a bit more, he's for now, Lavia's for in 2 or 3 years' time, get into his max.
Lavia would be better at Liverpool, by the way, just to prove Alan's point.
Yeah.
Lavia himself, if you move him to Liverpool right now, he'd be playing next to the likes of Thiago, players like that, McAllister. You've got the likes of Van Dijk behind them. You've got Salah on one wing. You've got the likes of Diaz, Jota, players who have been there, done that, players who have been on podiums, World 11s. So all of that counts, you know. So players bed in at Liverpool much quicker at this moment in time because of, look at Luis Diaz, perfect example. He came from Porto.
Jesus and
look at Diaz. He came from Porto mid-season. He came from Porto last season, or helped propel us to the next level. So, look, when you've got world-class players in the squad, it helps. Yeah. Currently, you look at the Alissons, the Trents, the Robertsons, the Van Dijks, the Thiagos, the Mo Salahs, players like that. They're players that are off the level. So that's the thing.
Can I just use the equivalent? So Fabio Vieira was bought in at Arsenal last season. Everyone said, oh, he's going to be the next, and everyone was going crazy about him. And look, it's going to take him years to be able to get and start the way Arsenal are and the people around him. So I think Lavia will be the same thing. Not saying he's not going to be a good player, because he is, but I just think that's the situation.
You know what? All I gotta say is big up my guy Maddison in the comment section. You've been holding it down today. 3 super chats in a row today. Big up to you. He said Liverpool fell off. We're the contenders now. That's what he's saying.
Al Mahdis, I'll come back inshallah on Vibes from the 6 when the transfer window closes and we see the entire summer, because I think there's a possibility Liverpool win it next season. And Al Mahdis, tell the difference between me and you. I'm the only one on this entire panel who has a gold medal against Pep Guardiola in the English Premier League. Pep Guardiola in these last 12 years has won every single league title except 3. Mourinho, Jurgen Klopp. I know who I'm trusting. Definitely not Pep's assistant. Arteta's trying to be Pep so bad right now. It's so bait, honestly. He's trying to buy Timber, so he inverts him in midfield. He's just being bare extra, buying Havertz. Jurgen Klopp.
1 second. You do
Jurgen Klopp floored Guardiola to win the Premier League.
We played 4 center halves before.
Egal. Chill. Let me ask Qasim and Staffy and Alan a question. Staffy hates my club more, right? Guys, if Liverpool Football Club were in Arsenal's position last season and we were top of the league for 93% of the season, are Liverpool Premier League champions? Staffy? Be honest.
I plead the 5th.
Okay. And Qasim?
Yeah, I mean, they've done it before. You remember they were top for a while, Liverpool, and I won't see the ball in it, but they lost it in it. But no, I think Liverpool was. I think we finish it off. I think 100%.
See? 4 yeses right here.
I do, and look, you can look at it this way.
It's hypotheticals, though.
Hold on. The reason why is because Man City going up against Liverpool know that Liverpool can go the distance. And the year that they were behind Liverpool just weren't afraid, and Liverpool just dominated. Whereas Man City had that belief that they could come back against this young Arsenal.
But one year Liverpool won, City fell off massively, and every other year,
City fell off this year.
City didn't fall off this year. The year that you won the league.
They won the league on 89 points. Yeah, against me, they won it with 99 and 98. It's different.
If you look back, hold on, guys. If you look back to January when they were
that's 10 points better.
People were saying the year Arsenal win the league is the year City fall off, and we're saying that. And then obviously City came back. I think if it had been Liverpool in that position, Liverpool would just walk to the title. That's my honest opinion.
Thank you.
I think you guys are being a little bit overstating things. Don't forget that Liverpool had a 13-point lead against City and still lost.
First of all, it was a 10-point lead.
Hussam, let me go back to Hussam. Hussam, I don't think
One
he's
second,
not.
because this guy lies
Yeah.
publicly. First of
Okay.
all, it was the 10-point lead, not a 13-point lead. Second of all, that year, 18-19, we hadn't won the Prem yet, so we didn't have that experience. And we went on to win the UEFA Champions League.
Okay, so
Let's
when was
talk
it?
now.
So was it 13-point lead and then they won that game week, or what happened?
It was actually, you want the truth? It was 13 points and they had 2 games in hand. So if you want me to be fully shameless,
Yeah, I remember
13
that. Yeah.
13 points, 2 games in hand.
7 points. There were 7 points. We were 7 points ahead, but we went on to win the Champions League.
Oh, so then in that case, you can never say Arsenal were 8 points clear because they always had a game in hand.
No, I'm talking without the games in hand. The position that you were in, where you were out of Europe and all of that, and all you had to do was beat Southampton and West Ham and these guys, we would have finished the job off 100%.
No, you didn't finish the job off because you only had to beat Crystal Palace and who else?
Why are you going back to?
Did I not just tell you we won the Champions League that year?
Why are you going to another
No,
situation?
that doesn't matter. You said you'd finish the job off. You guys you said you didn't. Don't let it slip, and then it slipped. These things happen.
No, but in 18-19 we hadn't won the Premier. We didn't have that experience.
No, I'm talking about 2013, 14, 2012.
Brendan Rodgers.
How are you talking about 13-14 when Brendan Rodgers was manager? Who cares? I'm talking about the Klopp era.
Do not let it slip, though.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything?
But you
With
said
that, let me go back. Let me go back to
That wasn't
Hussam,
even
man.
against Pep, so it's not even the same.
Yeah, we're
Hussam,
talking about
Hussam.
against Pep. We're talking about against
forget
Pep.
it.
Now, what
We're
are you-
talking about Pep Guardiola. This guy
quickly,
goes
guys.
to
Let me
Madrid,
make that
like-
one.
I'm pulling a Hamza. My bad. Continue.
Listen, my point I'm trying to make, actually, Hussam, to make the comparison between Liverpool and Arsenal, I think is not fair, really, because Liverpool and Manchester City last 5 years, they've been the best 2 team in the world. You know what I'm saying? And they were only team they were pushing Manchester City last 5 years. It was Liverpool. And Liverpool last 5 years made Champions League 3-time finals. Correct me. I know they lost 2 and won 1, and they were very close to win the league and push City all the way. So to make that comparison between Liverpool and Arsenal, I think is really. I won't say
And
that.
also with us, it was an actual title race. We didn't
No,
bottle it
all I
and
have to
fell
say
off.
is, I back my boy here. He's saying you guys might have a gold medal, but we have a gold trophy.
See, this is how you know the Arsenal
This
fan
is like
gets
so
it.
irrelevant to what
Bro,
we're talking about.
listen,
It's
we're
hilarious.
talking about the Pep Guardiola era. Did Wenger win it
There you
against
go,
Pep?
man.
No,
It's
he
so
didn't.
irrelevant. It's funny.
That gold
I'm just so
trophy-
happy Hussam is here because I didn't have to do anything to rattle these Arsenal fans.
You know
Someone
what?
else did my job
I'm
for
just
me.
gonna.
Mate, that gold trophy. is
Also,
only
do you have
relevant
a
to
Champions
the
League?
Red
Because I
Flag.
got 6.
Okay, who will finish higher next season, Hussam? Arsenal or Liverpool?
I can't answer now. It depends at the end of the window.
Okay, say you do what you need to do and we do what we need to do.
Liverpool finish ahead.
Oh, fair enough. We're gonna keep it moving from there. Alan, what you saying, bro? Oh wait, Qasim, did you jump on the Liverpool topic or?
Which I was listening to yours. I'm fighting, bro.
I enjoyed it. It's okay.
You know what?
We don't need to.
I forgot
Unless you have anything to say on Kefren Thuram.
about Thuram. Let me go back to this point very quickly, okay? I think you make a very good point, Igal, about because we know about Klopp. He always, when he buy players, he doesn't introduce him straight away. He takes time with Klopp. We saw that with Fernandinho, right? It takes him a bit of time to introduce him. But yeah, I think Thuram is young. But I think Hussam made a good point as well because they got world-class players around him. Okay, that's why I was saying in the beginning of the stream, Miguel. You can't have them all young. You have to have that mixture. You have to have the experience and the young players. So and you end up getting it right, the balance, right? So Hussam made that point about Van Dijk, Mo Salah, Alisson, all world-class players. So he has no problem. Even McAllister, I'm not gonna. He's a World Cup winner, right? And he's a Premier League proven. So my point I'm trying to make is with Thuram, I don't think he's gonna have a problem to straight away get in. With Lavia, with Arsenal, is different because if you have a Xhaka, take him out. He's an experienced player, and Thomas Partey, right? He's your best player in midfielder. I think it's gonna be very light because as good as Declan Rice, they're still young players. They need that experience. And Thomas Partey, 30, is an experienced player. And if you take him out, you have 2 young players there. I think it's going to be risky business, in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. I asked a comment in the comment section. Everyone, do me a favor. Let me know what you guys think. Big up to Maddis with another super chat today. Man's winning a Ballon d'Or today. Every single minute I'm seeing a super chat. Big up to you. Everyone, continue to hit that like button. Do me a favor. Next topic, we're going to talk about Tottenham. And Alan, I absolutely have no idea what's going on at Tottenham. I know you're linked to Maddison. You signed a new striker. You're linked to Tapsoba. And Lo Celso is going to be starting in your midfield next year. What's going on?
No, I don't know where you're hearing Lo Celso.
You still have him, besides.
No.
You still have him.
No. So Spurs, we are close to signing the keeper from Empoli, Vicario. He's obviously a keeper that's a good shot stopper. He's ball playing because Postecoglou is going to play a high line. Apparently, Spurs are now using data-driven things to sign players. It's like Gavanini and Postecoglou who are running the show now. Levy's not taking a backward step. There's a lot of Tottenham fans that are going crazy saying, literally it's going to be, brilliant signings here, there and everywhere. I have reservations about some because you're literally putting a load of new players into a system that's going to be completely different with players that haven't played that for some time. So I see a couple of games being a mess and some being good. But Vicario's the keeper, great shot stopper. Playing out from the back is all right. He's pretty good. It's one of them where, it's just basically having to adapt to the Premier League for me. With a goalkeeper can be quite shady ground. We're linked with Tapsoba. Apparently, the report is 25 million. It's going to be closer to 50 million. But Tapsoba is who we're linked with, as is Van der Ven from Wolfsburg. Van der Ven is really quick. So obviously playing a high line, he wants to have a defender who can get back. I know Liverpool also linked with him. He's tall. He's 6'4". He's tall, and he isn't the best at heading in regards to when he's there. Like his man-to-man marking and his defense play is good. He's heading when moving seems a bit lazy at times. I think that's a bit of a worry. But in regards to standing and clearing, he's quite good in the air. In regards to Maddison, we are linked with him. We want him, but obviously in Newcastle now coming back into it, wanting him as well. So it's going to be a fight to get hold of him. We need a player of his ability because we haven't had that for some time. Since Eriksen's gone, we've had to rely on Kane to do it. If we can get Maddison or a player like that who can cut a defence open with one pass and make Spurs a lot better, but we've been so slow and indecisive on the ball because we've not had that type of player. So we're linked with the right people. It looks like we're getting players for a rebuild from the start, which should have happened 2 seasons ago. We'll see how it goes. It could be a lot of problems. It could be problematic. It will be I don't know about next season at the moment. I want it to be a decent season. It could be, but it's going to have some hard games. It's going to be some hard games before it comes well. But we'll have to wait and see. But they're the people we're linked with or are close to signing at this time.
Alan, you know what I like about what you just said? Is that most of these people that you named, I have no idea who they are. And that's not a dig. I actually think you guys finally needed something like that, where you just go and you do your own thing, reinvent, young and upcoming manager, a bunch of players that he wants to invest in because he sees something in them. As you said, data-driven. It's not just big names anymore, and maybe you end up selling, I don't know, Kane or Son, whatever it is. Yeah. I feel like you needed something fresh, something to take the eye off Spurs, because now people don't have to look at Spurs like last season and say, they had a 10 out of 10 summer window. They definitely need to go and contend for the league and all that, because we were hearing a bunch of crap in the beginning, and we all saw how that ended up. So I think it's the best thing for Spurs right now to just say, go find your own thing. Yeah. Stop taking digs at me. You always do that.
I'm just saying, your title race ended in 2 games too. Well, I don't know why you're mad at Alan.
When have I said we were in a title race? Until Staffy says
you were in a title race, and then Nketiah dunked on your head top, and Olise scored a free kick, and then your entire fan base went into meltdown. Don't even try.
Did I say anything? Just hold things that I say against me.
I don't know.
Okay, so stop saying shit that I haven't said.
Based on your delusion right now, I would assume that you said
so now it's delusion. Okay. Anyways, you guys see what this guy's always trying to do. I'm not going to fight with him now. I need that energy for his show later. I'm drinking coffee and I'm getting ready for his show, so I'm going to save it for later.
It's going to be
I'm going back to Alan, the respectful Alan right now that I was talking to. I'm just saying, I think
Alan's respectful. That's an even bigger Al.
Right now he is, but not in general. But back to what I was saying about Spurs. I think this is what they needed, like something fresh, something new, something to keep the eye off them, where they can. I honestly think, when we say trust the process and work in silence and all that, that's kind of what they're doing, and I think this is what they needed. This is a reset that they needed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
speaking
it's-
of trust the process, just like the Philadelphia 76ers, they're never going to win anything. And they suck. That's Tottenham Hotspur. I put my neck out on the line for that shit club last summer, and they let me down. The biggest lesson I've learned from this season is never back Tottenham, ever. I'm never going to back that club.
And
If
this
they
is
could
just
sign
Arsenal.
R9 and Ronaldinho tomorrow, and I would still be against it. And let me publicly call this Tottenham Hotspur out. They called Richarlison in the new shirt announcement R9. The level of disrespect to the great Ronaldo Nazario de Lima, where a guy who has one Premier League goal, you're comparing him to him. Wallahi, have some shame. Wallahi, have some shame as Tottenham. Where is your shame? The audacity to call Richarlison Ronaldo Nazario de Lima, who in one World Cup played better than Richarlison his entire career. If you just put R9's game against Germany in the final, it's better than anything Richarlison's done his whole life. What are we doing here?
So you know that say in Arabic, that's what I thought about Spurs when I said that.
الرجالة ماتت في الحرب.
It means people who have shame. People with shame are all dead. Basically saying there's no people with shame.
There is no shame anymore.
One second.
R9.
One second.
Richarlison.
One second. Alan, let it go. Alan, let it go, please. Let it go. Let it slide. We got.
We're shitting on Spurs. Why are you upset with us? So you should be happy that we're doing that.
You know what? I was gonna say bigger.
Also, before you go, let me just say quickly about Postecoglou. Jordan beat him when he was Australia manager. So that shows me that Postecoglou, if you get physical with his teams, if you park the bus, you can beat him. Jordan beat Postecoglou with a smart free kick in the Asian Cup. Hold that, Australians that are listening. Anyway.
All right, guys, I needed to talk about this.
Also, sorry, Gal, one last thing. If you're Jamaican and you're listening to this, hold that too, because Jordan beat Jamaica 2-1. All the Jamaicans in the comment section right now, hold that. Jordan 2, Jamaica 1. Hold it. We beat you.
Isn't Troops Jamaican? Troops is part Jamaican, isn't he?
Troops is, but he's also claims English. So.
Troops DM'd me on WhatsApp. He's like, why aren't you at the game? I'm like, bro, the friendly's in Austria. Why would I go to Austria? And then he DM'd me when Jamaica scored the first goal. When Jordan scored the other two and we won 2-1, he stopped replying.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Guys, Ndombela, do you think Tottenham are going to keep him or sell him? Because I forgot.
Is he still Tottenham player?
I forgot. He was on loan in Napoli. He won a league title.
I'd sell.
Yeah,
He's got all the ability, but he's not going to apply himself the way we want. So he's just not going to be putting the work ethic in. He never has. Well, he has to a point under Mourinho, but even then he couldn't keep it up for a long period of time. So, yeah, no, I'd sell him.
Okay, fair enough. Everyone agrees?
Shouldn't be a debate, to be honest.
I don't think it's up to us, honestly. You're right. It's not really up to us. And then there's not really much more on Spurs. I feel like we covered everything. Is there anything else, Alan?
No, I've told you everything like that. You haven't discussed it, so there you go. It's done.
See, Alan, it's kind of hard to discuss it because I said
we don't know the players you're linked to. We don't really know them too well. Like the goalkeeper, I don't really know him, so I can't really sit here and be like, "Oh, he's a shit keeper." How am I going to know how good he is? I don't watch.
Oh, is that? Are they after David Raya, innit?
No,
not anymore.
David Raya is not happening.
Not anymore.
Oh. Yeah, let's talk about Raya.
What happened with Raya?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like the Spurs fan base is so weird at the moment. So they're saying that this was the whole idea of getting Vicario the entire time, but we had agreed personal terms with Raya, and then when it was like, but Brentford wouldn't, part with like going for less than 40. That's when we turned to Vicario. So it was like a second option. But Spurs fans are believing that he was our first choice. It weren't. But yeah, they just wouldn't pay the amount that Brentford wanted for Raya, so we went with Vicario.
What about James Maddison? What's going on with him? Why is it taking so long?
Maybe good signing for Tottenham.
Well, Spurs are interested, but I don't think we've actually put a formal bid in for him. I think Leicester also won about 60, but realistically, you're not going to get
60 for Maddison.
Apparently, that's what they're looking for. They're not going to get him. Not with them being relegated and all that. He's
going to
go
50, I think. It'd be worth 50, Alan. I think 50
about 50 at best is what they'll get for him. But Newcastle, obviously, they're opening up their bags, like ready to drop some more money and all that coming in for him. So we'll have to wait and see. But if Spurs this summer, if it's all data driven, apparently we've got 2 or 3 options for everything. So I don't want to see none of this. We get to the start of the season and because we couldn't get Maddison because Newcastle going, we haven't got an attacking midfielder. then it isn't data driven.
I hope you guys sign Onana so Staffy can sign Pickford. That will be my dream.
Oh,
If
if
Oh,
we
That
don't
would be
sign
hilarious.
Onana,
oh.
listen, if we don't sign Onana, there's
What's
no
up,
more.
Java?
There's no more Staffy on Vibe with the Six if we don't get Onana.
Onana, what's my name?
So don't ask for that. If you guys
Oh,
want to
what,
say Staffy back here,
what,
don't sign
what
him.
happened with Pickford though? He's still up.
We're
Yeah,
not
he's
talking
good.
about Pickford. We're not talking about Pickford.
He's-
So
This
it's not.
is
It
Man
was only
United.
rumor then. Okay.
No,
Staffy,
we're
you
all-
don't run the show.
We are strongly linked to Onana. We're not
And
strongly linked to
Pickford. Say
Pickford.
the
No,
truth,
we
say
are
the
not.
Say
I am
wallahi,
saying
you're
the
not
truth.
linked to Pickford. Say wallahi.
No, I said we are not strongly linked to Pickford, but we are
But
to
who
Onana.
decides if it's strong or not? You?
Because
Yeah,
when you
good
see
point.
the news, okay, no, I'll tell you what strong links are. When you see that his agents and his representatives were in England and they met directly with Manchester United, that is a
Who,
strong link.
Onana?
Yes.
Okay, now can
But
you answer my question?
but now tell me about Pickford. Tell me any advanced
Can you
talks
please
about
answer
Pickford.
my question? Are you
This
linked
is
to
my
Pickford?
answer.
Can
I
you just say
gave
yes
you
or
it.
no? Are you linked to
So
Pickford?
guys,
Can you just say yes or no,
This
please?
guy
They
wants
did
to
it.
remove the context
listen,
that I
everyone in
just
the
added
comments
to make it.
is
So
fat
you're
as
linked to
his
Jordan
agenda.
Pickford. You're linked to
No,
Ollie
this
Watkins.
is not
Bro,
true.
we're probably
Tyrone
linked to
Mings.
so many players. It's about
Make
what
Manchester
serious
United
links.
great again. Let's
One
go.
second. I'm just gonna say this.
Saving my
Big
energy.
up to everyone in the comment
Brexit
section.
means Brexit.
Don't always go and believe Tamia Ahmed's sources. She jumps the gun a little bit. She's getting excited. We have not agreed anything with Declan Rice and West Ham yet, so this is not true. Please don't say things that get people too gassed up because it's not true. But
Up
yeah,
Tamina.
big up
That's
Tamina.
coming from Miguel to me.
Yeah,
so that
it's not
says
happening.
something.
It's not happening yet. It's gonna happen soon. I was gonna say there's not much more to talk about Chelsea because we spoke about everything on Chelsea previously. But there's one more major thing that we need to discuss, guys. Are you guys worried about this signing? Because this signing is kind of creeping up on us. 100 million for a center back in today's market is crazy. Van Dijk 75 million back then was crazy. I don't know about you guys, but I just think this is too much money for a center back. Don't you guys think?
Not
No.
really.
Yeah, but everyone that said
that.
that about Grealish, bro. This guy is one of the best defender in Europe.
Ainsley's
20
gone.
years
Yes.
old. He's
Sorry.
one. I think if Manchester City got this guy and go Declan Rice is big for everyone. I think it'd be difficult for everyone to win the league or to win maybe the treble again. I really do. I believe so.
I don't think he's gonna hit the ground running right away, but it is
Yeah,
scary because
yeah.
this guy's like what 22. So this guy is the future. So when you're talking about 100
Quick
million,
as well as stuffy. He's got the attribute for the Premier League, isn't
he
it?
has so many good attributes that fit the City
Quick,
team and
yeah.
fit the Premier League. Yes. So when you look at it, it's 100 million, but this is invested in a future, and this is everyone here because since we don't have a Man City fan, all of us here should be like very ashamed of our clubs. Because this is the difference between us and City. Because they don't have a lot of issues to fix. They could actually dedicate 100 million into a defender because they don't have to really worry about anything else. As of us over here, if we said put 100 million in a defender, everyone would be like, okay, but I still need money for a striker, a midfielder, a winger, this and that. And we're all in this boat together. While these guys just did a treble and they're going to get the best upcoming center back in Europe for 100 million. And this would be perfect business for it. I'm so happy Hamza's not on the stream right now because he would be like eating us alive with this news. He would be
Who is
talking
it?
about football heritage and all that.
But
Has nothing to
do
do
you know
with
what
this.
stuff? It does really piss me off because we linked with this guy last year, right? We linked with this guy last year, right? And we end up getting Fofana from Leicester for 80 million, and he's injury prone. My boys
Can I
are trying
piss
to
you
link
off
it.
more, Qasim? You were linked
Fofana's
to
injury prone.
2
Say
summers.
that
He's
again.
got one
You were
injury.
linked to Chouameni 2 summers before, and you were linked to Rice last summer as well.
Yeah, no, we've been linking with Rice Hussam for the last 5 years, right? And I'm big with that Declan Rice fan, right?
To be honest, I
My
heard
boy-
also Mourinho wanted this guy 2 years ago. I think when he first went to Rome. So like it
Is
just it's yeah. I think this guy has been up and coming, and people heard of him, but people took too long to get him. So
I think it's just proven Manchester City well-running club because I believe strongly Manchester City in transition. Because when you look at Kaya Gundogan is
they're not a
going.
transition.
They are. Let me
What is
explain.
transition, Kasim?
Let me explain.
Listen, transition is a big word. You can't say they're
Stop
in
it. Stop it.
transition
Let
when
me
you're
explain.
switching one player. Go
Let
ahead.
me explain. Stop it. They are in transition. I tell you why, right? But Manchester City do it differently, bro. Manchester City do transition and win things in the same time. What I mean by that is, yeah, well, that Algerian guy. Wait. Algerian guy is going. What's his name? Mahrez is going. He's going. Kaya Gundogan is going. Okay. Kaya Walker is gone. Laporte Laporte, he can get in any team in the Premier League. He's going apparently. That's 5-6 players. And now they're introducing 2-3 players, or they are in transition, but they don't do it in a big scale, right? They do it
you
in
know
a way.
why? Because these guys start dropping out of the starting 11,
So-
and they replace them in the starting 11. So when they leave and they get replaced, and the replacement is already there, adapting to the team by the time that player leaves, they don't see, you never see the transition. Because like if you all these players that you just mentioned that are leaving, how many of them are starters? Probably only Gundogan. So you're not talking about anyone in the starting 11 that's leaving. There's a
Bernardo?
transition going. What's that? I mean,
Bernardo.
but Bernardo's
Silva?
different. He's kind
Yeah.
of talking about people who are leaving because they're getting old. Bernardo would be a different situation. He wants to leave for other reasons.
That's true.
But the ones that he mentioned are older players. And by the time they leave anyways, they'll have their replacements. Like Laporte is leaving and they won't notice it because they already have Ake up and running, have Akanji up and running, but then
Yeah.
they're going to bring in Gvardiol, and by the time he's up and running, someone else will be leaving. It's just what they always do, bro. So I get your point that they're transitioning, but it's not going to be a transition like any of our clubs because
That's what I meant.
all
to
of our
stop.
clubs always
So
say,
like
"Oh,
another
well,
team, they do it differently.
we're going to build for the next 3 years," and we're like putting
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
I don't know about you guys, but I'm trying to build a super team. I'm just-
Look,
Well,
this
yeah,
whole transition
with
thing, I'm
Lavia
sorry,
and-
this transition thing, by this logic, then Sir Alex Ferguson went through about 5 different transitions to win, 13 different Premier League titles or like stuff like that. No, come on.
No, he's
A
not good
transition,
enough.
a transition is basically from a new manager and new playing style to a complete clear out and complete rebuild from old to young and stuff like that. When you're changing loads of things, 3 or 4 players is not transition. They are one of the best run
Thank you.
teams. I think they have 3 or 4 different players that they need to get out and get in. That's how every team should be run. That's why Man United, Sir Alex Ferguson, Man United was so successful. It's because every season you only had to get 2 or 3 out and 2 or 3, but to keep at the top of the thing. It's not a transition. This transition.
So 5-6 player, Alan, is not transition.
It's not transition. It's
Wait. Let me ask Alan.
Let me give you the word. Let me give you the word.
No,
It's
loads
retooling.
of players around.
Let me ask Alan, man.
It's
It really
retooling.
is.
It's not transition. But big up, Michael Ramsey, Liverpool fan here, says Maguire is the best center back in the world. Of
Big up
course,
Michael, that's my subscriber. Michael, you really wasted $2 to say that dumb shit.
Yeah, thank you for saying it because I wanted to say that too. But
Where is he going?
Michael, you know
Where
you're
is
my
Maguire
subscriber,
going? Does
right?
anyone
And
know?
I love you, but sometimes I want to slap the shit out of you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what the hell you're doing, honestly. Man said Maguire. Like troll better.
I think
At
he
least
think he
at
trolled
least
me.
make
Like,
your troll sound realistic, man.
yeah, he thinks I'm gonna start like banging.
Is he
that
trolling,
shit,
though?
I'm
Is he
angry,
trolling?
why would
one
he say
second,
that?
1 second. I just want to say, big up for the super chat. Big up Hussam also. But yo, Hussam, what you saying though on the Gvardiol?
On Maguire.
On Maguire?
We don't talk about Maguire. And
Guys,
Long may
it's a
he be,
forbidden one.
inshallah,
Focus,
he
guys.
stays
Focus,
at Man
guys. We're
United,
trying to wrap up the
inshallah.
show.
What do I say about Gvardiol? I think City are gonna have a little bit of a drop off next season. It's normal if you eat caviar for 3 years, 4th year you aren't as excited about caviar. Listen, we keep calling these players robots, but at the end of the day, they're human beings. And from a human being perspective, they just achieved what they've been trying to achieve for the last 5-6 years, which is the Champions League. They achieved the main biggest objective they've had. So for me, I expect them, like, please don't tell me that City are going to be at unbelievably high motivational levels when they're playing, Luton Town away from home or Brentford away from home. Like, be real, bro. Like, I just don't think they're going to be that hyped for next season's Premier League. I think they're going to be very hyped for the UCL because they won it. They have the taste of European success, so they'd want to do it again. Like, I think European success is different. You always want to do it again. So, yeah, Gvardiol is an unbelievable centre back. Just based on his age, he's going to take a little bit of time to bed in. Obviously, the City centre back role is difficult. It's not like Man United where you're hugging the goalkeeper. It's actually at halfway line, so it's a lot more difficult, job for you to do. So we'll see what Gvardiol does. We'll see, but it's an unbelievable signing. And when it comes to price tag, it's not a lot at all. This is just the going rate for the young, exciting players in football right now. Chouameni, Camavinga, players like that, they'd go for the same price too. So yeah.
We're gonna set
Let it go, Staffy. Let it go.
We're gonna set a jar. We're gonna set a jar. We're gonna put $1 every time Hussam says Manchester United defenders hug the goalkeeper, and every time he says that, we're gonna put $1 in it. And we'll see
and then
I
you
get
put
with
that to me by the end of this stream.
No, I'll keep it since it's my team.
I'm just gonna say this. If I'm not mistaken, we had a poll going on. who do you think is going to finish higher, Arsenal or Liverpool? The poll was a resounding 75% Arsenal. So I'm assuming
on an Arsenal channel.
Shocking. On an Arsenal channel. Shocking.
it's not really.
This guy got the Arsenal badge in his background, and he thinks he can.
Igal, man. Come on, Igal.
Hey,
Come on,
hey.
Igal.
To be fair, 211 people voted, so they can't all be Arsenal fans.
Yeah, 90% are Arsenal fans.
But then if it's 90%, 24% said Liverpool.
I'm pretty sure you also put in a poll like when we're doing this through the season, like when Arsenal were clearing, like 90% said Arsenal will win the league. So it means nothing. People's opinions mean nothing, to be honest.
You know
The
what?
10% were right. Thank you.
Listen. It might not mean nothing to you, but it means something to me. Big up to all the viewers. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. This is it for today. Big up to everyone listening on Apple, Spotify, all those podcasts. And of course, big up to everyone watching on YouTube. Do me a favor, go check out Hussam's channel. He's going to be live later tonight. Link is in the description.
Again.
Alan, okay, Hussam's here. Alan, you guys don't understand. I'm going to show you after this.
Wallahi, we're just joking. We get it. It's okay.
Okay. Big up.
Check out Igal's
Alan's
channel.
over here. Alan's over here.
Check out Igal's channel.
Me and Mustafa down here.
Hassan's over here. Hassan has a video later today also. Alan already did a show. And if I'm not mistaken, Staffy's over here.
I'm up here, yes.
Yeah, so check out Staffy's
channel.
Guys, by the way, Staffy he's going to start his channel soon. Links in the description. He has 1 subscriber. Go be his second subscriber.
Igal is putting pressure on me every day to start posting.
Okay.
So I have to deliver.
You dumbass.
And
Yalla,
here,
we need
guys.
Staffy TV. Yalla, let's do it.
Bro, Staffy talks football, Staffy TV, Staffy football
Guys,
channel.
I promise it'll be up soon. I promise.
There you go. And you guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Big up everyone in the comment section. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. We're out of here, people. Peace.
The centre backs hug the air.
Arsenal start. Got no hand.
You got no grand.